one question that I get often is actually a couple of questions coming to mind. One, do sex toys desensitize you in some
Mm.
way? And the short answer is no.
Hmm.
Um,
Hey
Hey,
y'all, what up,
everybody. What up,
though? Thank you
though?
for tuning into
To
Clink
Clink,
with,
Cam.
and I am Kay. So thank you guys for tuning in. We always welcome each and every one of you. Thank you to our new subscribers. You tell your friends so they can tell a few of their friends, so we can
So we can all
all
be
be friends.
friends,
Okay.
okay?
All right. So, so we just thank you for stopping by to Clink with Cam and K, and we have a guest. Some of you may have seen the promo, but it's gonna be nice and spicy today. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with Cam and Kay get our inspirational moment on, and then we're just gonna briefly touch on the Kendrick and Drake beef. How can we not?
hmm
Okay.
Got that rap beef going on, you know.
Exactly. And then we're gonna go into our main topic, and we're just gonna be talking about sex and being over 40 and
Let's talk
everything
about sex,
in between.
baby.
Let's
Let's talk
talk about
about
you
you
and
and me.
me.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
all
all
the
the
good
good
things
things
and
and
the
the
bad
bad
things
things
that
that
may
may
be.
be.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about sex. That's
sex.
what we're gonna say.
Hey,
Okay.
let's talk SEX. Okay.
All right. So before we even go into our first segment here, we want to welcome our guests. We want to say a very clink welcome to De-Andrea
Yes,
Blaylock-Solar.
De-Andrea.
Hey.
Yes, hey
hey,
girl.
thank you for having me. I'm glad
You,
to be here with y'all.
yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Love the smile, girl. Yes, let's do
Thank
it.
So Miss De-Andrea, she has a lot of credentials, y'all. So she know her stuff because she is a licensed clinical social worker, and she's a sex certified sex therapist with
Certified.
the AASECT, right?
Yes, yes.
All right
So
now,
them
okay.
certifications mean
Out
a
of
whole lot.
They
Missouri.
do. Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah, I'm in
Okay.
St. Louis. Now, St. Louis ain't Missouri.
Oh, it ain't.
No, I mean it is, but it ain't. Like I'm from St. Louis, but I'm not
Uh-huh.
from Missouri.
Oh, oh.
It's a
It can,
whole thing.
it's a whole thing because like Missouri be on one.
Oh, you're not trying to claim them?
No, I'm
Okay.
from St. Louis.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The Lou. They call it the Lou.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
they do. All
Okay.
right, all right.
Well,
We
educate
black. We like
us.
giving stuff for nicknames. The
Yeah,
Lou. I
Absolutely.
like
you
the
gotta
Lou.
educate us because we, what up though? We from the D, so we want to get it right. She
Right.
from the loop.
The Lou.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go into Cam and K's
Inspirational
inspirational moments. What you
moments.
got for us, Cam?
Well, today I was reading something as I clicked, not clinked, but clicked. And this quote stuck out to me. It's by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Now we could go into his sex life, but we won't. So
Oh, right.
right now we're gonna say inspirational quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I really like this because it is so true for today and forever.
Okay.
It says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward.
Mm.
And I think that is very great advice in life, period, because life is about forward motion. If you stop moving forward, you just stop. And if you stop, you die. So therefore, we need to just continuously move forward, push ourselves forward, be inspired to help our fellow brothers and sisters in life move forward. And what that means is just assist them. Listen to people when they talk. Listen to people when they talk. Listen to people when they talk. And if you listen to people when they talk, then you will know how to assist them. Then you will understand their hopes and dreams and their aspirations, and you can help them move forward. And as we help others move forward, we're also helping ourselves move forward.
That's facts. Because what I took away from that was what was Alita Adams. I don't care how you get there, just get there if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like if you can't run it, walk it. If you can't walk it, crawl. Just if you can't
I don't
crawl,
care how
do
you get here. Just get here if you can.
right.
So get there
Just
if
get
you
there. It
can.
don't matter
Yeah.
if you go, maimed, with scrapes and bruises all over. You
Because you're
got
going
you
to get
got there.
some. That's
So
right.
I like that. I like that. What do you think,
What's
DeAndrea?
up, D?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's important to keep your eye on the prize. So whatever your
Mhm.
goal is, making sure that you are doing what you can do to achieve your goals.
Okay, I like that.
Mhm.
So, who do we think achieved their goal during this rap battle?
Ooh,
So the little segue I did there.
ooh.
So we could not. I just could not get away not talking about this. Just briefly.
And if
Ken,
you don't know,
right, Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Drizzy.
Um, I don't know if some of you have been looking at our shorts because I've had my opinions. I was always team Kendrick K Dot. You
Yes,
know,
she is.
because that's the type of this rapper. I like the kind of rapper that get in your psyche that make you think. And you have like 10 different meanings for a phrase or for a word. I love it.
He uses a lot of metaphors. He is truly a wordsmith.
He's a Pulitzer award winner.
Yeah. He's credentialed, whereas Drake is still with the Disney crew. Oh, did I say that? Drop them bars, girl. Drop them bars,
Girl,
girl. Drop them bars.
you gonna have these Drake fans after us. So I guess we bias on over here on this podcast. But you know, I've been listening to different people talk about it. They show like the different reactions, the first time reactions.
Hmm.
But then you have I have different people that I look at, like their podcasts and things of that nature. And they're just talking about it. Like for years, I guess a lot of people has been talking about how Drake, he's cringe. With the whole underage thing. I mean, that's stuff that's been in the news before. He
Yeah.
reaching out to 14, 15-year olds.
I mean,
Texting them.
anybody that does that, it's totally inappropriate and it's totally cringe. And when you are a grown man over 30, really trying to me, in my opinion, reaching back to anybody that even 17 or 18, even though they say that's legal, it's not. That's kind of, weird.
Yeah, but I just and you get the sense, at least from Kendrick, because he even said it. He was like, dude, I hate you. I don't like you. I don't like the person that you are. And it had to be something that said, do I take everything at face value? I'm look.
Well, Drake has so many followers because, of course, he is a Disney kid. So, people look at him and they've been following him on Degrassi and all these shows for years. So that's where he gets his following from. So I really have a lot of respect for Kendrick because he started from the bottom. Now we here, in Drake words. But I'm just saying. So Kendrick is just I respect both of them because again, they both moved forward. As our quote said, they started from nothing, they ended up doing something, and they continuously move forward. So for that, I say that's what's up. But I like Kendrick better because I think that he doesn't have the Disney following and he really started his rap career from the bottom up
Yeah.
because he didn't have all that stuff in the background. So what do you think, D?
Um,
DeAndrea?
I got a lot of thoughts. I got a lot of
Girl,
I'm sure you
share, girl,
do.
share.
um, I'm gonna tell you, I am not the biggest Drake fan. I don't dislike Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I never felt that I was his target demographic.
That's
And
exactly what I said on somebody's thing. I said I'm not his target demo.
yeah, and I'm good with that. And I think that you can appreciate someone's talent without
Mm-hmm.
being a fan.
Yeah.
So that's where I always was with Drake. I appreciated his talent. Uh he's got a few songs that I do enjoy.
Hmm.
I am a Kendrick Lamar fan though. And
Mm.
so
Great
following
minds.
this, yes, yes, great one. But following this beef has been interesting. I follow someone called Ebony Janice, I can't remember her last name, but she goes by Ebony Janice.
Okay.
And she talked about how the people who are really impacted, or the losers of this battle,
Mm,
say losers, are Black women and children.
mm, mm,
Wow.
Who is being talked about, you know, whose expense is this battle for?
mm,
When we talk about unclaimed children, or the misogyny, or the hypersexualization,
mhm,
or the allegations of Kendrick Lamar,
mhm. That the beating, yep.
his
The
fiance,
DV, yeah.
it's Black women and children who face the brunt of it. So,
Mhm,
although I do appreciate um, this excitement,
mhm,
and all of the double, triple, quadruple entendres that
mhm.
Kendrick has brought. And Drake has, held his own,
He
but
did. Mhm.
a little bit, but
Right, right.
but still, like, just really stepping back and looking at whose expense, right?
And
So
True.
but
True.
it seems like in our culture right now, as far as music, just outside of this beef period, Black women are at the blunt of all the negativity. Our children are being taught all the negativity about us. And it's like it's actually very sad and it's sickening because what are we teaching the next generations about Black women?
right,
How we are being represented. You
Yeah.
got the Black women coming out now like the sexy reds, and you like, what in the what? Where'd you
Girl.
come from? And go back to where you
well,
came from.
I'm not
It's
mad at
sad.
Sexy
Oh
Red.
yeah, yeah. She like a little. She like a little. I forgot. You do
I
like a
like a
little
little
ratchet.
ratchet, but
Well, I'm gonna tell you, like, also, I'm not the target demographic.
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
neither.
Yeah.
Sexy Red either. Um, do I think she's a good rapper? No. Am I entertained a little bit? Does she do too much for me?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
but I'm
But you
not her target demographic.
but you
And
heard about her song is really a remake of an old song anyway. It's like
oh, that
nobody
was
comes up with,
AI.
huh?
Oh, that
That
was
was
AI.
AI.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, because I was
AI.
about to say, girl, I ain't never heard no. I know back in the day they had like Miles Neighborly and little
Oh
ratchet
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah. We've been nasty for a long time.
Oh
We've been
yeah.
nasty
Oh
for a
yeah.
long time. Yes. And with that being said, no.
Come on, segue.
Let's go into our conversation about why we
Yes.
are all here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex,
Yes.
the
Specific.
nastiness,
Ooh,
and everything in
okay.
between. Because
All of
everything about sex is not nasty unless you
Hmm.
like to be nasty. If
and
your
let's
name is Miss
Unless that's
Jackson.
your thing. There's no. I'm not
Ah.
gonna yuck nobody's yum. Okay.
No, this is a non-judgment
Yes.
zones. But seriously, I'm really glad that we have you on here, De-Andrea, to talk about sex because it is so complex. There are so many different. It's just interesting. There's so many different layers to it that we're going to delve into, and I'm just really excited to have
Yeah.
this conversation.
And especially, like our speaking of target demos, our target demos because we are the over 40s,
Hmm.
and specifically, sex managing sex health in over 40 and of that nature. So
Yeah, and
so
just
we getting it in. So
Mhm.
yeah, we can in it, and just to, I'm so glad you're on here just to educate the younger women just about the sexual health expectations and just all the things that we're going to talk about. So, what are we going to talk about first? Because this is really going to be good.
all right. So you can. What did you have on your in your notes, De-Andrea, about this topic?
Well, when I think about sex over 40, I think about a lot of different things. And I think about how um, when I turned 40, there was almost a magical switch.
Mm.
Uh, are,
Why
do
we
we
all go? Mm.
do we cuss on here?
Yes.
Okay, so I became fuck deficient. I don't know what happened with them. I just I just didn't have as many cares as I used to.
Mhm.
And so I think part of that relates to a certain confidence that I have in myself where
Yes.
you're not as concerned about others. So thinking about when women turn 40, if they are in a position where they have increased confidence, that can translate to sex, and that they are more willing to be focused on their pleasure.
Mhm.
I'm out for faking orgasm.
Mhm.
I'm really working toward what feels good for me, not being a selfish partner,
Right.
but making space for what it is that I want to experience and what that can
Mm.
look like.
And I also believe that it's true. I know throughout my life, I've heard, the different things from men that say, "Oh, a woman's not this, a woman's not that, a woman's not the other." But at the end of the day, a woman is only the switch that you turn on or off.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I have a few different thoughts. I think
Hmm.
that it's important that we know who we are, so that we can show up authentically, and that we only stay in relationships and situations that are fulfilling for us,
Yes. Right.
so that we can show up fully.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's important that we don't truncate ourselves or abbreviate ourselves just to remain in partnership with someone.
Mhm.
And if we're not being turned on, is this a
Mm.
place I need to stay?
Come on. You better come on. So you know what I found, and is this? I don't know if it's like just a me thing, or if this is a common thing, or this what happens to us. Period. Like I found, like being in my 40s, my libido is like up,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
up.
Yeah, yeah. And that is common. That's something that research shows that uh, sex drive definitely can increase in late 30s, early 40s.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because those who are partnering with men, um, a lot of times their sex drive will start to decline
Mhm.
in 30s, early.
Yes,
Mhm.
thus the little blue pill and the honey love, as they call it. They
All
need
of
a little honey
All of
packets.
those.
They
yeah,
need a little help.
different things, right? And so, like, there are a lot of different things that you can do to make sure that you are having the kind of sex that you want to have, outside of those different aids,
Mhm.
or using, other aids, but just really working with your body about where am I right now.
Mhm.
And also understanding that even if you are partnered, that every time you're feeling sexual, your partner may not be feeling sexual. So it's okay for you to have solo sex and to fulfill your needs in that way, even if you are partnered.
So a rose is still a
I'm scared of
rose.
the rose.
Baby girl, you know what? I am too because I actually, shit, I ain't gonna lie. I actually thought about it and then I saw the thing and it was something like super suction. I was like, shoot, it might suck something off. It might get
I'm
stuck.
scared because I know people who use, and it's like they're like, damn, a man. I'm like, hold on now. I'm like, seriously. I'm like, I don't want nothing that powerful. That no,
Right.
I still like.
We want the human touch as well. So maybe you need to be using it with your man and not without your man. Maybe it'll help him out.
Right.
Well, and that's definitely an option too. I know a lot
Mhm.
of times one question that I get often is, actually a couple of questions coming to mind. One, do sex toys desensitize you in some
Mm.
way? And the short answer is no.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
a lot of times what happens is
Mm.
that if you are used to achieving orgasm in the same position, using the same toy on the same speed, um, uh, your body gets used to
Mhm.
orgasming that way. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're desensitized. It's just that
Well,
your body gets wired to doing it in that way, so that it's important to switch up your routine.
okay.
Mhm.
Because I
Usually,
know years ago I had a friend and she was really into all that stuff.
mhm,
I always shied away from 'em. I'm like, I don't know about that. I like, but anyway, because everybody likes what they like. But
mhm.
and she had met a guy, and it was a guy that we both know, and he was like, I really dug her. I was really into her, but I could not compete with the AA battery. Because
A lot of men get have a complex about that
yeah.
insecurity.
Well, in this case, every time they would, like you said, she got used to that certain thing. Next thing you know, she like, you try this, and he kind of was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? It was too much for him. I think, in relationships, if you want to try different things, you need to ease people into it. Whereas she was comfortable with her toys, but in a new relationship, he wasn't comfortable with it because he was just like overwhelmed because she started pulling out, I don't want no whips and chains. And you just have, she just started pulling out all this stuff and he was freaking out by it. I think sometimes you can have pleasure yourself, but that's for you. And then if you want to bring somebody else into that pleasure, you might have to ease them into it a little bit, have some conversations about it.
Yeah.
Say something. Don't just, y'all having a session and you just break out and be like, ha.
Yeah, and I think it's paramount. It's incredibly important to have conversations about
Yeah.
sex outside of having sex.
Hmm.
If you're waiting to that moment, it's a high stakes situation. It's a lot of pressure at the moment. So
Mhm.
having a conversation, not in the bedroom, about your desire to use sex toys. What do you think about using sex toys in partnered situations? Is that something you'd be open
Mhm.
to? Well, let's talk about it. And so having those conversations before you get to those moments
Mhm.
can definitely help with easing someone into that.
Do you think, being a therapist, that a lot of times that is one of the problems with people's sex lives is they don't talk about it
Oh,
and then
girl.
they get frustrated and then that causes a breakdown in their relationship?
Yes, I tell people all the time, because a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you're a sex therapist. I know you have some wild stories," and it's like, no, not for real. Like, I mean, I hear some things, but like honestly, what it boils down to is open and honest communication. Now, it's communication about a very sensitive topic, so it's
Mhm.
important that you have like basic communication skills, like understanding how to say what you mean and mean what you say, and not to read into things, to know how to use I feel statements appropriately, all of
Mhm.
those things, but really knowing how to talk with your partners and being honest about what you want to experience, and really being honest with yourself about what you want to experience in your sexual situations as well. A lot of times people are very willing to just deal with things for the sake of being partnered. And so
Mhm.
they'll be in a great relationship with awful sex because they enjoy the relationship, but they don't want to hurt the
Mhm.
ego of their
Mhm.
partner. So they don't talk about it.
Mm.
So, yeah, that communication is key. Having conversations about um, all aspects of your relationship, but specifically sex,
Mm.
that's a big component.
What about women? Because I don't think we're not in this stage yet, but it's like the next stage in life for us, like perimenopausal and menopause. Like how is sex then? Like how do women about to enter that stage of life? Like are the mything? Does it get like drier or it doesn't matter what we eat or how does all of that factor in with
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, all of that, all of those things. Are factors to discuss with your medical providers as
Mhm.
far as where you are and what's going on with your body. There
Mhm.
isn't a one size fits all thing, because you can drink all the water in the world and then still have issues with vaginal dryness, whereas you were whippity wop uh,
Right.
beforehand.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that anything is necessarily wrong with you. It's just that your body is changing, and changing changes with hormones can definitely impact your ability to self lubricate. So, again, talking with your medical providers about where you are, what's going on internally, making sure that you are taking care of yourself the best way that you can, and not being shy about using the different things that are available to us, like good lube. When I say good lube, I'm not talking about Vaseline. Um,
Right.
I'm
Oh
talking,
my
Water
God, I wouldn't
based.
know. I'd be like, what you pulling?
listen,
A
listen.
nice water based something.
Yeah, it can be water based or actually silicone based. And so, silicone based is good for a lot of different things. But because it doesn't absorb into your skin, it can be good for folks who are experiencing those hormonal changes where they're having challenges with lubrication, because you don't have to reapply it as much as you would a water based lube. Like I said, water based absorbs into your skin, whereas silicone based creates a barrier on top of your skin so that it remains there for friction. Now,
So it's a wonderful slip and slide situation.
exactly,
Slip. Slip and
exactly.
slide.
Slide.
Yes, slip and slide. Yeah.
Slip and
And
slide.
there are a lot of different kinds. Now, some people do um talk about using coconut oil, and the jury is kind of out on that, because it
I
does have
heard that.
some,
That sounds like that would hurt. I don't know why.
well, uh, it does have some antibacterial properties. However, for a vaginal lubricant specifically, it may not be good for everyone. And
I
again,
mean, hell, just get lube, y'all. It don't cost that
lube,
much.
just buy lube.
It don't cost that much.
And get
Yeah,
that slip and slide. Silicone.
I got a whole thing of lube in my stash.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give you a secret. Not a big secret, but get you a lotion warmer,
A
Mm.
and put
lotion warmer.
a
Okay.
lotion warmer and put your lube in the lotion.
Okay, hack.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay.
Yeah, you instead of you being like, ooh, ah, ah.
Well,
Nice warm,
it don't get
nice
hot.
warm
It don't get
lube.
hot. It's just warm.
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 Okay. Also, I was just thinking too, I know we talked about a lot of different things thus far, but as I think sometimes we have the sex part down, but we don't have the intimacy part down.
Mm.
So I would like for you to expound on just little intimacy type things that people can do throughout the day, throughout the week on both sides for their partners to make them feel um maybe more open sexually or get a little revved up, you know.
Yeah, yeah. There are so many different types of intimacy. Sexual intimacy is just one type.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about emotional intimacy, and that can be expressed in a lot of different ways. And then physical intimacy outside of sexual intimacy, that could be, that cuddle on the couch, or
Mhm.
a little grab of the booty while you're washing dishes.
Mhm.
Those different things can help with building intimacy. Thinking about intellectual intimacy, what are different things that you enjoy learning about? Are y'all museum
Hmm.
people? Um,
Right.
uh, my husband and I are we're nerds, and so we like Marvel and
Mhm.
DC, and so like some different things that people seeing us do may not see as intimacy, but it helps to build closeness for us when we're planning our schedule around the release of the next movie, or
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing for May 4th, May the 4th,
Right. May the 4th. Yep.
right? So all of these different things can be different ways to build intimacy, but it's just a matter of, again, this idea of communication, right? Talking with your partner about what's important to them. what things do they like to do? Here in St. Louis, there are a lot of free activities. And so
Mhm.
there's something in the spring and summer called Twilight Thursdays outside of the History Museum where they have free concerts. You can set up your picnic, in the park, listen to some music, all of these different things. Building intimacy doesn't have to cost money.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, you can find different ways. Art, you can, thinking about intellectual intimacy again. Is there a book that you all would like to read together or listen to? If y'all, listen to books as opposed to read
Audible,
physical
yeah.
books,
Right.
you know. Um, and yet there are just so many different ways that you can do it. Just a matter of really clicking into your partner to see what interests them, what interests you, um, and making time for it. Intimacy is not something that happens by happenstance. It has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And that I kind of prescribe for some of my couples when life kind of gets in the way
Mm-hmm.
and they don't make time to be a couple. It's something called being time, where it may be a specific amount of time per week where they have to be together, do something together outside of screens. So sitting up and watching your show together is not being time because
Right.
you're not connecting.
Right.
But um, can you cook a meal together? You
That's see
know,
that's
That's
sexy.
sexy.
People
you know, yeah.
underestimate the cooking date. That's
Mhm.
sexy.
Mhm.
Or coming
Exactly.
home from work and your dinner cooked, that's sexy too.
It is. It
You
is.
be like, "Ooh, yes." Oh.
Yeah, and something I really enjoy doing is taking walks with my husband. We walk around our neighborhood when the weather is nice, um, and it just gives you a chance to connect and talk. Get a little workout in too. So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So, what are some of the issues that you find being in the business that people over 40, both male and female, have
Mm.
about regarding their sex life?
I see a lot of people experiencing challenges with accepting the body that they're in right now
Mm,
and mourning the body or mourning the sex drive that they had previously.
Mm.
mm.
So
That's
it's
good.
and a lot of times people can't name that, but it's just I can't do like I used to do. And that's
I
really
can't drop it like it's hot no more.
Right.
My knees ain't making it.
Look, I know you want me to
I
stay up,
listen, I
but
have Mabel knees. I no longer have
not
Megan knees.
stop, stop.
Listen,
Like, look,
listen,
Did you say Mabel
man, she
knees?
did.
Mabel knees. 23 years of step shows have given me Mabel knees instead of Megan knees. And I've just accepted that as my, but we shift positions. We just learn how to do it differently, right?
Hey,
Yes,
Um,
yes.
ma'am.
but that's the thing, like, and especially thinking about folks as they are, again, this idea of accepting the body that we have now, really thinking about folks who may be disabled now
Mm,
where they weren't before, or dealing with various illnesses where they take medications that change their sex drive or change their sexual functioning, how to deal with it, and not just deal with it, but make space to mourn the
mm,
functioning that they had before so that
mm.
they can get to a place to accept where they are now
Yeah.
and understand that they can still have a good, fulfilling sexual life.
What you said is like so interesting because I think that a lot of people and a lot of relationships probably end in divorce or people breaking up because in relationships you're supposed to grow together,
Hmm.
and people are failing to realize that things do change,
Yeah.
and it's you're not going to be, and then that's why some men and women go outside of the marriage because they want that old feeling back of what they used to be instead of accepting who they are now and pivoting. Just
Mhm.
pivot and make it newer, make it better. You don't always have to do the same old thing. You want to you're not accepting, like you're saying, that you're older, that your partner is older, that his knee may go out, he may have a bad hip, or whatever the case may be. And so you do have to pivot and try to figure out different ways to come together, that you got to pivot. You got
Yeah,
to figure out what's going to be, how you going to make it work, because you
mm,
can't make it work.
you can make it work. I did a presentation this past Saturday for
Mm.
seniors, talking about
Lord, they say they get it in more than anybody in them nursing homes. I've been hearing
well,
that for years.
it's a thing. It's a thing. And it was a really good, really fulfilling conversation. I had a great time with elders. Anytime I get an opportunity to be with elders,
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
I'm
Get
excited.
all that wisdom, huh?
I mean, and they be saying some stuff, and I'm gonna listen to it.
Mhm.
But just talking with them about this idea of understanding that even though things are different, that doesn't mean that they're bad,
Hmm.
and making space for that. And a lot of times when we talk about grief and mourning, we only think about the loss of a loved one, but it's important to make space to grieve the previous versions of yourself
That's
so
good.
that
That's
you
real
can
good.
then accept who you are currently.
Yeah, because I that's good because
Mhm.
I can, me being, in my what mid late 40s right now. Of course, like my body is not the same as it was, like say like 20 something years ago.
Hmm.
You know, and then but just thinking ahead, like in like the 60s and 70s, like how that's gonna look. Like wow,
Mhm.
it's like our future.
I
you
think
know?
I think one thing I have noticed, I used to always feel like, I'd be like, you see certain people, and we all do the comparison thing. You be like, oh, and then you look, you like, you see a couple, and you see that they're happy, and she may not be, she may be a little overweight, or he may be a little overweight, and you be like, how the hell do they, you could be single, you like, how the hell they get them, and they got them somebody, and but you don't know why, because it is sexual, but then there's the intimacy, and then there's the like you said, the mental. Because if a person can't get you mentally, really, he can't get you physically.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So sometimes that mental mojo is a mother,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's just, that man that can have that conversation, that
Hmm.
can minister to your spirit, with his words, and with him just being a good person. All that shit is sexy. When
Yeah.
a man can listen to you, and you be like, oh, it make you want to do things that you wouldn't want to do, and you be
Hmm.
like, you see people, you be like, why are they together? Because they getting something from each other. It could be something physical, but it could also be something mental or emotional that they're
Hmm.
getting from that person that they can't get from somebody else.
Hmm.
So yeah, because like, and I also noticed that men love confident women, and women love
And we love
confident
confident,
men,
most
no matter
definitely.
what size they are. And what
Hmm.
I'm learning for myself personally is I have to embrace my thickness,
Hmm.
because my thickness is not a sickness, it's a blessing.
Yes.
That I am who I am, because when I look back over my life,
Come on, talk about it.
I say, when I was 20, I was this size, but I was never really happy with no matter what size I was. When I was in shape, I thought I could be better. When I wasn't in shape, I thought it could be worse. Whatever the case may be, but what I'm learning now is what Whitney said in her song: learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of the
Hmm.
greatest love of all. We have to love
We do.
ourselves exactly how we are right now in this moment. And sometimes we have to extend that grace and love to our partners exactly for who they are in this moment.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I've always been fat. So I have been used to well, I'm incredibly grateful that I was raised by my mother, cuz she always instilled a certain confidence
Hmm.
in my sister and myself. And it was learning to accept myself and have confidence in myself regardless of outside validation.
Yes,
Mm.
Not needing um, to be validated by society because they're not
right.
necessarily going
That's
to do,
good.
and also not from a partner.
Mhm.
Although, please tell me I'm pretty. I want to hear it.
Right,
I want to hear
right,
it. I want to hear it
right. All the time.
all
Okay.
the
Yes.
time. And also understanding that my confidence has to come from something within.
Yes.
Not
No,
without.
those other things can boost it, but it has to come from something within.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And I think that's where I know for me, and I have fallen short in that at times when I don't feel good about myself. And sometimes you just forget about yourself because you're so busy trying to love other people, whether it's your siblings. I'm getting older now. My mother's older, so I have to kind of like reverse parent.
mm,
I have to make her more of a priority than myself. You
mm,
know, so you're so even though you may raise your children and I have children, you still got to go back to the parents and just your family, period. So
mm,
I think as women, we find it, just trying to find the balance in it all and
mm.
be these sexy mother shut your mouths that we are, and not finding the balance with the sexuality, because sometimes you can get so caught up in life and so busy with things and going through the motions of things that you don't feel like having no sex.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just don't.
absolutely. Yeah. And being open and honest with yourself and with your
Mhm.
partner. Um, People can tell when, because I've had so many conversations with wives about oh well, I just roll over and
Oh,
he
the
can
not the Danny Glover and the Mister.
I have a friend, and she'll say that in a minute. She said, "Girl, I'll just roll over and toot it up in the air. Go ahead and get you some." I'm like,
but like and what I've heard from the other side of that is that I don't want it like that.
Mm-hmm.
"You
Like
want to
if
feel
that's how I'm
desired."
gonna get it, I don't necessarily want I
You
don't
want
want
somebody to be into you, you know?
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And I
You want some kisses, some
yeah,
sucking, some
something.
succulus.
So or just this in addition to that, because they want that too. But just the idea that I want to feel wanted and
Mm.
desired.
Mm-hmm.
I even though like yes, we said yes at the altar, but like, do you say yes to me daily?
Mm.
Mm.
You know?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you better that's more that's a word. Preach. Do you say yes to me daily?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Is it
That,
just out of
that's good.
obligation? Don't nobody want like I'm I, I from my friends, from my male friends, what I've heard is that obligation coochie feels different.
Oh wow.
You
Wow.
know, it's not the same versus
When
um
you're really into it.
when
There's
you're
no
really
excitement.
Yeah,
it's
because both men and women, we want, like you said, we want to be desired.
We want to be
yeah,
loved.
We
yeah,
want to be desired. I mean, we as women, we naturally do, but the men do too, though.
Yeah.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And I
So
think
it's,
no,
yeah.
go
So,
ahead.
so we need to rub on them a little bit too.
Yeah,
Sometimes women want men to be the aggressors, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they need a little help.
Hmm.
Tell
ex-
them that they fine. Pinch them on their booty.
Hmm.
yes,
Rub it.
exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, all the things that we like done to us, they like done to them
Oh,
in a
they
certain
like it.
way,
They like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Find out what that thing is that they like.
Hmm.
Exactly. Again, that idea of open and honest communication.
Because
No one,
sometimes men can feel like a piece of meat too.
yeah, yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't necessarily want to. And I think we take for granted that this idea that men always want sex or all they want is sex, when that's not necessarily true.
Hmm.
It's important to talk with your partner about what it is that they want. Like, yes, they
Hmm.
may want sex, but they want it from you for a reason. And
She said, "Oh, sweet."
but it's real, and like I said, I think a lot of times people get in a rut, they get in a
Yeah.
routine, And like you said, it's just that I'll just toot it up and you can get some if you want. But
a couple, how do they break that rut?
part of I, talk.
Communication, yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
She ain't said communicate. She said talk.
No,
Flat out. You ain't
because
got to talk.
when I tell you, folks don't be talking.
Put
Hmm.
it in a letter.
Yeah, right up
Write a
on
song about it. You want to hear?
like Aaliyah, you know what I'm saying? But like honestly, a lot of times we get so used to thinking about people who have been partnered for years. A lot of times they prioritize everything else, getting these bills paid, who gonna cook
Hmm.
dinner, we got to take the kids to the sports, whatever, where they forget, they lose sight of them as a couple.
That's
and
good.
and they have to make sure that they continue to prioritize themselves and each other. Again, this idea of saying yes to each other on a daily basis. There's this famous couple, I can't remember which ones, but it's one of those couples that's been together forever and they never married. And one reason I remember them saying was because they wanted to have the opportunity to say yes to each other every
I
day.
think that was Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
They wanted the opportunity. I didn't hear that. They wanted the opportunity to say yes to each other. Just
On a daily basis.
As
oh,
opposed to feeling obligated.
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, it is good.
So
Because I have wondered that about a lot of couples, but sometimes couples don't want to get married. They happy the way that they are.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And being married, there are benefits to it related to the laws, right? And honestly, being married for love is a modern convenience. Well, over the last like 200 years or so.
Hmm.
Before then, people were marrying for business transactions, for
Hmm.
exchange of property, because women were thought of as property.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And so being able to choose who you want to get married to because you love them, because you like them, like that's a relatively new thing. Um,
That's huge. Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? I find that like being older, like in my 40s, and let me know if I'm not alone. Even those listening, put in the comments. Like my sex, um, kinks and fetishes and stuff. It's like it's changed. It's
Hmm.
like more like adventurous, and I'm not afraid to like voice that,
Hmm.
So I'm like, is this normal?
Absolutely. I think, and that's something that we don't talk about. How
Exactly. Yeah.
think about how you might, excuse me, I'm not a big salad fan. I just don't like. I
Mm.
don't like lettuce. I like spinach. I like arugula,
Mm-hmm.
but some iceberg, I ain't interested in it.
Mm, right.
You don't have no flavor.
It ain't got no. It's crunchy water to me.
Exactly.
Okay? However, as I've gotten older, it's like, let me go. You know what? I actually do kind of want a salad, you know? And just like that, our tastes change. What we're
Hmm.
interested in, what we want to experience, all of that changes. And again, as I mentioned before, as we get in our 40s, our level of fucks decreases.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interest in experimenting. Sometimes we're a bit more bold because
Hmm.
we're not worried about what somebody else is gonna think.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I do want to try that and I'm not worried about what somebody's gonna say about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's perfectly okay for your tastes, for
Yeah.
your ideas about what you want.
Because if you don't try things, won't know what you like.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
only time way you can figure out what you like is if you try it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's I've been with a partner before. It's like never want to like try nothing new. I like games and stuff. I'm a creative. I like
Yeah,
different things,
yeah.
And he was just like, "No, I'm not about that." Oh, okay.
Well, that wasn't the one for you.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Nope.
This has been really, really, really good. We got to have you on some other time as
Yeah, bring
well.
me back. Bring me
You
back.
know.
Yes, we appreciate you coming on and sharing all the insights. And all I kept hearing over and over again
Mhm.
was love yourself,
Mhm.
Mhm.
communicate,
Mhm.
love them, but love yourself some more.
Mhm.
And confidence is key.
Yeah. So the Andrea, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at sankofasextherapy.com. That's my website. I'm licensed in the state of Missouri. And also, I'm on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, and what is it called? Threads at
Yeah.
Sankofa Sex. That's S as in Sam, Ankofa Sex. Sankofa, like the Adinkra symbol.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll have it in the description there. So yep. So you guys can reach her if you are in the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
Why don't you go on and hit her up? Okay.
And DeAndre, it was such a pleasure to talk to you and get
Hmm.
such insight on sex
Yeah.
Thank
and
you. Thank you for
relationships.
having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
guys. So go
you.
ahead and hit that like, okay, and comment, and also subscribe if if you feel so led to.
And tell
This
your
is
friends to subscribe,
yes,
share
and
it.
share.
Hmm.
This is the type of information that we do, and we are still on our journey to 200 subscribers.
Hmm.
So once we reach 200 subscribers, we will have a nice giveaway. Okay, some very nice giveaways.
Very, very nice.
Yes. So as soon as we do that, that will be phase one. And anything you
We just have
say?
so many exciting things that are coming in the future. So again, go to all things Cam and
Mhm.
K, and also go to speakpipe.com/Cam and K.
And don't click out just yet, DeAndrea. And but for everybody else, we will see you next
Next
week
time.
on. Come on, you know what it is. Clink.
Clink.
All right, y'all.
Sippy sip.
Bye.
Bye.